Welcome to the series of computer networks, and in today's session we'll start up with network security. So here the agenda in today's session is we are going to talk about network security and then some basic terminologies that we use it in network security, and then principles of ciphers and very simple concepts on cryptographic techniques, right? Very basic techniques on cryptography we are going to deal with, right? So first we'll try to understand what is this network security. So here network security, it is the process of taking physical and software preventive measures to protect the underlying network infrastructure. So from the unauthorized access. So that is here we have different types of hackers or the attackers who are just waiting for the sensitive information that will be sent by the sender through the channel or the network infrastructure. So here we are going to provide network security on such unauthorized access, right? So in which it can include modification of the data or the destruction of the data, or it may be like they are trying to steal the data. We call it as eavesdropping, right? So basically what we are trying to do in network security is we are taking some preventive measures on such attacks. So here there are certain types of attacks where we are not able to identify also, right? So here basically we can have the two categories of attacks. One is the active attack, the other one is the passive attack. So here when it comes to active attack, here the data is straight away destroyed, modification, and then malfunctioning. All these kind of attacks are the uh, direct attacks that is being performed on the data that is being transmitted over the medium. So we call such attacks as active attacks. But there are the second category of attacks where it is called as the passive attack, where the hacker or the attacker is silently observing the communicating parties, like what is the time of communication, what type of information that is being transmitted. They're just trying to read the information. There will be no modification that will be done, there will be no destruction of data, anything of that sort. But the thing is they are just sitting and observing with whom you are going to communicate. So they are just trying to read the information that is being sent from the sender to the receiver, right? So here these kind of attacks where we have this active attack and passive attack, it is passive attack is quite difficult to identify because the hacker or the intruder here, he is not going to manipulate the data. So he is just trying to read it, and then he may use this data for later purpose there, right? So here we are having this network security where we are trying to avoid such attacks, and then we'll see to that we'll create a secure environment. But how are we going to provide this security is through some of the uh, algorithms that are available, right? So we'll see in detail about all of these algorithms, in what way these algorithms are helpful in providing security, right? So normally when we have a attacker, uh, the very important terminologies here before we start up with the actual techniques what we are following, or how the method, or how you are going to provide security. We'll try to understand some basic terminologies that will be used here, right? So the first one is cryptography. So what is this cryptography here is, it is the science and art of transforming messages to make them secure and immune to attack. So that is here cryptography, it is a method of transforming messages, that is from the readable form to the unreadable form. So that is here we are just trying to transform the message that is being sent by the sender to the receiver through the medium, right? So even if the attacker tries to read the data, or accidentally if he is able to get the data also, it will be of no use to him, because in case if he has to understand the data or get the content of the data, he has to crack the information that is being read, because the data will not be in the readable form. So this conversion process from the readable form to the unreadable form, we call it as encryption process. This will happen in the sender side. So here on the sender side, the data will be transmitted from the readable form, which is the original form, into something that is in the form that is not understood by the attacker. So here, even if accidentally, if the data goes into wrong hands also, so it will be of no use to the attacker. So here, the process of conversion from readable form to unreadable form, and then transmitting this data over the channel, and then at the receiver side, this data will be converted back to the original form. So this method, it is called as cryptography, right? And here we have the other terminologies that we are using it here is, first one comes here is the plain text. So what is this plain text is? This plain text is the original message that is being sent by the sender. This message will be converted into unreadable form. We call it as the encryption process. That is basically the message is encrypted, right? Which will be using any of the algorithms that are available, right? So this message, what we have it, the original message, we call it as plain text. And this transformed message, that is after the encryption process completes, the message, original message, will be converted to some unreadable form or a transformed message. This transformed message, we call it as ciphertext, right? So here, this is about the plain text and the ciphertext. And next comes the cipher. So cipher is basically, it is the algorithm or some way or the secret method of converting what? Converting the plain text to the ciphertext. We call this algorithm as cipher. So here we have many algorithms that are available. So in the future sessions, we are going to deal with what are the different algorithms that we have it, right? So as of now, we'll just try to understand what is a cipher. So cipher is basically, it is a secret method or an algorithm that is used to transform the original message into the unreadable form or an encrypted form, right? So the next comes the key. So here, keys are nothing but, it is when we are using these ciphers, so that is algorithm. So along with the algorithm, we are including a key here. So key is just a random number of bits that are being generated. Along with the algorithm, we are going to use these keys to secure your data. Now, after understanding the basic terminologies of cryptography, next we'll move on to the principles of ciphers. So normally, cipher is nothing but the algorithm that we are using it to encrypt or decrypt the data there. So normally, if you take any ciphers, these are the basic principles the ciphers will follow here. So here we'll try to understand these principles, right? So here, these principles are nothing but, here the encryption process takes place. So that is normally the data that is to be transmitted between the sender and the receiver will be encrypted, right, using an algorithm. And that is the plain text will be converted to the ciphertext. And this ciphertext that is being not, that is the transformed message, will be sent over the medium, that is the transmission medium. And this on the receiver side, the reverse process takes place. That is the data that is being transmitted or transmitted in the ciphertext form will be received by the receiver. Now the receiver cannot get the original message there, right? So he has to, if in case if he has to get the original message, the data has to undergo the transformation process. That is again, the decryption process has to take place. from the ciphertext, it will be converted back to the plain text by the decryption algorithm. So on the sender side, we are using the encryption function or the encryption algorithm, and on the receiver side, we are using the decryption algorithm, which will convert the ciphertext to the plain text. And the algorithm what we are using it for encryption and decryption is known only to the two communicating parties. So now here, in case if the intruder or the hacker tries to get the information also during transmission, it will be in the unreadable form, and it will not be the data will be of little use to the user. In case if he really wants to understand the data or get the original data, he has to crack the data using different techniques. So here the intruder is not aware of what the algorithm is used by the sender and the receiver. So he has to understand the algorithm, implement the algorithm on the ciphertext, and only then he will be able to get back the original data there. So here, these are the principles that we are following it in any cipher you take. So basically we have two cryptographic techniques that we have it. So here the first one we have is symmetric key cryptography, and the second one is asymmetric key cryptography. So these two techniques are basically dependent on the type of the key that we are using it in the algorithm. So basically it is for encryption and decryption process, the type of key that we are using it, right? So first one we have this is symmetric key cryptography. As the name says, symmetric key is something like symmetry is nothing but both the sender and the receiver is using the same key for encryption and decryption process. So that is, if the sender is using a key that is used for encryption, the same key will be shared to the receiver as well, and then this key will be used for decryption process as also, right? So to understand this algorithm or the method here, you can just view this diagram here, right? So we have on the sender side, we have the message, which is in the plain text form. Here, this will be converted to the ciphertext through an encrypt. Encrypt is nothing but an algorithm that is used, right? So encryption algorithm, and this encryption algorithm is using a key there, right? So with the help of this encryption algorithm and the key, the plain text will be converted to the ciphertext. And this ciphertext, which is in the unreadable form, will be sent over the insecure network. Why is it called insecure network? Is there are hackers or the people or the attackers who are just waiting for information to be transmitted over the medium, and this is the place where the attacker can easily get the data, because the attacker has no access to either of the communicating parties devices. So it may be the sender's device or the receiver's device, so there is no access to the devices there. So it is only through this medium where the hacker can get the information, right? So here this data that will be sent, that is which is nothing but the ciphertext, will be received by the receiver. Now the receiver gets in the ciphertext form, which is in the unreadable form. Now the receiver has to convert this to the plain text using the decryption algorithm with the help of the same key, right? So here in this symmetric key cryptography, both the sender and the receiver uses the same key for encryption process and the decryption process. So here this key which is being generated will be sent to the sender and the receiver, that will be shared between the two communicating parties, and it will be used for encryption and decryption process. So on the receiver side, the ciphertext will be converted back to the plain text. Now once it is in the plain text, now the receiver can read the message without any difficulty there. So this is how the symmetric key cryptography works there. So since both the sender and the receiver uses the same key, we call it as shared key or sometimes as secret key also. So you can call it in either way, right? So the second method what we have is asymmetric key cryptography. So here asymmetric key cryptography, it is also called as public key cryptography also. So why is it called as public key cryptography? Here in this method, the sender and receiver uses two different keys, right? So two different keys for encryption and decryption process. The two different keys are called as the public key and the private key, right? So here, as in the case of a symmetric key, we are using only one key, that is between the sender and the receiver, and it will be shared. But here in this case, we are using two keys which will be generated together at a time there. So that is public key and the private key is generated together, right? And this key that is being generated together is used for encryption and decryption process. So okay, here asymmetric cryptography can be better understood with the help of this figure here. Here you can see we have two senders, okay, that is sending some data to the receiver. So now here, before we understand this asymmetric cryptography, I'll just add up to some points here, that is regarding public key and private key. So every user over the network will have a set of key that will be generated. One is the public key, the other one is the private key. So as the name says, the public key is known to all and it is accessible to all the users. And private key, it is only known to the particular user. So with this basics, we'll see here, suppose here, I have a sender who wants to send some data to the receiver. So assume that I have a sender A who wants to send the data to receiver B there, right? So now here, this sender, he takes the public key of the receiver, which is known to all, right? He uses this public key and encrypts it using the encryption algorithm, and then he gets the ciphertext, right? So this ciphertext will be sent over the medium and then it will be transmitted to the receiver. Now on the receiver side, the message is in the ciphertext. This has to undergo a decryption process. Now this time it is the private key of the receiver will be used here for decrypting. As we know here, when the sender is being sending the data, he used the receiver's public key to encrypt it. So here similarly, now here on the receiver side, he is using the same pair of private key which is being generated by the receiver B. So here this receiver B, he will take his private key and with the help of the decryption algorithm, he will try to decrypt the data and get the plain text. So now here, one thing you have to make sure here is whenever the sender has to encrypt the data, he'll be using the receiver's public key, not his public key. So he will be using receiver's public key for encryption, and on the receiver side, the receiver will be using his private key for decrypting. So that means here you can see the public key and the private key of the receiver itself will be used for both encryption and the decryption process, right? So here with this we finish with the symmetric key and the asymmetric key cryptographic techniques. So hope you all liked the video. Thank you all. Thanks for watching.